Hello, hello. And so today's script is what would be the best answer to the question, who are you? And there's a note at the G something, 25-6. So it's I don't know, man. It seems like it starts with the G. What would be the best answer to the question, who are you? At the graduation? No, I have no idea. It can't be garden because there's no D in it. What would be the best answer to the question, who are you? The thing that comes to mind right now is an Adam Sandler movie. I forgot the name. I would recommend that movie. Adam Sandler with anger management. I think the movie's called Anger Management. And yes, it's a good movie. And so the idea behind the movie is like he was a very passive guy, and something happened at I don't know, it's just like a whole storyline where basically he's tricked by his wife in order to start venting because she was worried about him. And so he goes to take basically a community class of anger management that basically Jack Nicholson was in charge of. And he goes like, "Who are you?" And then basically he starts answering, "My name is this. And I'm 25 years old or 30 years old." And then he goes like, "No, no, no, no. Like we don't want to know about you. We want to know who are you." And then basically he responds with, "Oh, I basically do this as a job. I have a family." And he goes like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we don't want to know about what it is you do. We want to know about who are you." And then he responds with like, "I like to go hobbies. I like this. I do that." And then he goes like, "Yeah, yeah, but like we're not interested about your like what you see out of life. We're interested to know who are you." Until he flips and he goes like, "What the fuck do you want to know?" And the idea basically is like, when somebody says, "Who are you?" Normally, I would answer with, well, I used to answer with, "My name is Tari," but that's an identification, right? That's not answering the question. Before I used to answer, "I am Tari." Now I would answer, "My name is Tari," right? But if somebody asks me, like recently, when somebody asks, "Who are you?" My response has always been a bit like of that corny shit, and I love it. I feel like that's the closest thing to answering that question. And I always answer with, most of the time, I answer with, "I am the universe manifested." Uh, Solid truth, though, because ultimately there's me, myself, and I. And so me is Tari. Myself is basically the relationship between Tari and the world. And me, Tari, which is the ego. The ego is the face of myself in the world. And myself is the relationship. Well, myself is probably the relationship between, is the communicated between the reality that I have in my head, which is basically which is created by like the world reflecting on me and I reflecting on the world. The reality stands. And then my actions in the world are basically handled by my ego, but my intention is coming from I. And then am pushing myself through the ego. And so there's this kind of like, I don't know how we all come down to like I. It's like I, from my perspective, is the pure intention. is the voice of life. And I'm a firm believer that we're not like whatever we're doing in the world, it's a game that you're playing with life. Like we're not alive, we are an extension of life. And one time I was having this conversation with my father. It's like scientifically, apparently, when somebody dies, he loses a bit of, I think they lose like 20 something grams or something, which is basically the weight of the soul. That's what people say. And or that's what science basically believes. Like they weight people when they're almost dying, and after they die, they kind of like drop a certain amount. And for them, they believe there's the weight of the soul. There's also the fact that like we're kind of like there's that energy that keeps us going, and then there's that energy that fuels us to go, and that's the perkiness you kind of feel when you kind of like let's go play basically golf versus let's go exercise. When you want to go exercise, you lose energy before you even leave the house to go exercise. You kind of lose energy unless you're those people that kind of like get excited for this shit and then you gain energy. And so that for me is like the energy of like life, and I feel like that's the cosmic energy. Like we are life, and through us flows that cosmic energy that basically is just like vibrating through everything. That allows everything to kind of like just that makes everything connect and harmonize, or at the very least, that gives us that momentum and movement, and we ride the waves. And we can use planets as a form of an example. We can use trees because trees get energy from the sun, and then basically it's just the same light that's moving from the sun. The sun is emitting heat, which is emitting a wave, and ultimately, like as carbon dioxide basically molecules hit the leaves basically take the carbon and let go of the oxygen, and then we breathe them. Like that's the relationship, right? There's that harmony. Naturally, there's also harmony where an asteroid kind of kicks in. It's like the asteroid was harmonizing and we were harmonizing, but us and the asteroid were not harmonizing, so it kind of like kicks in. All of these kinds of things basically are the energy that's kind of like there. And I see it as my truth that basically like we are an extension of that. So who when somebody says who are you, they're not asking who is Tariq, right? My name is Tariq. They're not asking what what does Tariq do, what are his interests, what are the things that he enjoys. They're kind of not asking. Somebody's asking who are you? What would be the best answer? I am an extension of life. I am vibration, right? It's like ultimately like we're made of the same carbon that the tree is made from. The tree is kind of like solid and sticking to the ground in order to exist. For us, we exist. We have mobility, we have movement. Because like our cells and organs, which are made from the same carbon, kind of like harmonize differently with each other and became mini engines for different parts of us to kind of like move. So when somebody says, "Who are you?" It's really who am I? And they're not talking to the character that you have. They're not even reaching yourself because yourself is literally for you, and you kind of have to like have anything that you think about gets any your thoughts kind of move through yourself outside, but like they show themselves to you, and then yourself pushes them out. But it's the instinct, right? Because like many times you kind of like see something and you don't know how to explain it, is because yourself is not really like is not harmonized with it. And eventually you get that eureka moment and you go like, oh, I figured it out. It's because like once that connection happens between what was truly in your head to the thoughts that could be expressed for Tariq to understand, for your ego to understand, for me to understand. But all of these are based on the intentions that I give out. Whether I'm a good person, I'm a positive person, I'm an asshole, I'm an angry person. All of these are how I'm intentionally projecting my reality onto this world, or how I am projecting into my reality. And then ultimately the self translates it so the ego could actually like bring it to life. I don't know. How would you answer who are you? What would be the best answer to the question, who are you? I am a fragment of the universe. I am energy designed differently. I am a unique existence. We're all unique, but none of us is special. Or at the very least, we're, you have to collectively agree that somebody is special for them to be special. Nobody can just think they are. It's a video, yeah? Why the fuck not? Touching moments. I love you guys. Bye.